Had to cut my way up out them trenches just to be specific. I had to get it how I live, now I just live to get it. Making history with them clippers cause it was written. Blessing essences with my presence because I'm gifted. Cut my way out. I had to cut my way out. Let's talk about it, hey, let me tell you how I cut my way out. Watch me cut my way out. It's the coldest podcast in the game.
Let's first tell everybody welcome to the iCutMyWayOut podcast.
Absolutely.
With Ash and Shy on Instagram, and we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to unpack. If you've been paying attention, there's been a lot of stuff going on social media. There's been a lot of barber conversation on social media this week.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna dive into it for sure.
What's the word, man? How everything been going?
It's been good, man. It's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been busy. Been having a lot of doctor's appointments, moving around, doing stuff. So it's outside of that, it's been busy, man. It's been busy, definitely.
Okay.
What do you say, my brother was good?
One of my sons joined in.
Martin signed a contract to fight y'all in this boxing. Most definitely in the boxing, bro.
He said, "Who? Shakur Stevenson?"
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Them contracts come. They come.
They get it cracking, huh?
Real soon. They come.
Right.
So look, before we start unpackaging this, I want everybody that's in the live right now, do me a favor. Share this live. Share this live. Share this live. Share this live. Let's get this live cracking so we can have some conversation. Understand that today we're going to be doing some talking. You've seen what's to happen with Marv. You've been seeing what's been going on with Basio.
Right.
You've been seeing I've been seeing a lot of barbers in the barbering group airing out their grievances, airing out they boundaries, they setting boundaries.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about all that. So share this live so we can get more people in here, so we can get more perspectives.
Right. No doubt. Yeah, I jumped on for a second on Marv's live on YouTube last night with what's up, another son. Somebody said, "Can I get a quick rundown?" I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Perfect timing. So you go ahead, tell what we're talking about, and then give us a little synopsis of what you observed on that live last night.
So we're talking about just what's been going on in the barbering industry, man. Marv, Deluxe, they were going kind of back and forth. They had a live yesterday, and then I didn't see exactly what was going on with Basio. I did see him, post something. I've seen Marv respond. But yesterday, just in terms of all day long, Marv had been talking about Deluxe, putting out there that basically you could make $20,000 a month in cutting, and he didn't agree, and so he just kept not. And I'm not saying in a bad way because they seem to be cool. Like he was just antagonizing it.
He was definitely baiting them.
Yeah,
definitely baiting them.
and so they could get on live and talk about it. The numbers, they start off on live to get everybody to transition over to YouTube Live, and the numbers were running rampant. I'm just talking about Marv was just talking about how he's tired of people talking about price and so forth and so on. So we just want to kind of get into that, get people's perspective and whatnot. Like I said, I didn't watch it for long. I don't know if you went back and seen it at all, or you followed.
No,
it.
I didn't watch the live, man, because stuff like that, I have my own opinion about it.
Right.
For me, I could pretty much gauge how that conversation is gonna go. Right. We've seen Marv take this approach with multiple different social media barbers and influencers in regards to his opinions versus theirs. Right. And I think it's genius, man. It's a smart thing. It's a way to stir up conversation. It's a way you don't have to continue to come up with content. You can kind of piggyback on what conversations are already going.
Right.
But as far as Deluxe, I've talked to him. I talked to him back when I was in barber school.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that when I seen his ad on I want to say it was on YouTube maybe, and I seen it. I'm like, hey, I'm interested. Let me hear what he's talking about at least. For me, and just like for a lot of barbers, I would say probably Marv too. If you say something outlandish like that, even if I don't think that it's feasible, I'll still at least listen to what you have to say, just to, you know, chew the meat and spit out the bones. If you have anything of value that I can use, then I will. But if it's not something that's going to be necessarily beneficial for me, then, you know, I'm not going to sign up for it. I'm not going to subscribe to everything you have to say. But I say all that to say that although they have a very difference in opinion, both of them got valid points, because Marv can prove from his experience in working with barbers, because he runs a educational program, online training and media training and everything, right? So does Low. Low take people under his wing and he teach them how to raise their prices. He teaches them the approach to how to monetize yourself from behind your chair. And I would think over years of doing that, he can show you some numbers, just like Basio. Basio then trained enough people and sent them through his mentorships that he can show you numbers. It's not just word from what I'm saying and my beliefs in it. It's actual tangible numbers. I can back it up with receipts. I think that's how Basio got pulled into it. People wanted to know his opinion. And yeah, it's actually, I think Basio and Marv is doing a live here pretty soon on YouTube. So I would love to see what his opinion of it is, because I think Basio kind of leans more on the low side, because that's his narrative. You know what I mean? Like teaching you how to maximize what you're doing as a barber financially.
So what was his outlook? Because I seen Marv posted something like, you know, this is what Basio had to say, and you know, so they're ramping that up, like Diamond Life Cut said he did.
One didn't really have nothing to do with the other. It didn't. Basio just put something up there referencing to the fact that he can show what students that completed his mentorship were able to maximize themselves to. And I think that's because, you know, Basio, his approach is more the numbers. It's not, social media is cool, but he more about what your paperwork look like. You know what I mean? What are you doing taxes wise? What's your investments? What's your potential projections? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to make? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, man. But for me, I want to talk more about, is it me, right? And this is where the messiness comes from a little bit, right? Is it me, or do it feel like that it's a lot of barbers on social media who are running out of content, so they just starting to pick on other barbers, bro? They starting to take issue with everything, every opinion other barbers have. They get on social media and they basically trying to discredit the next barber or the next barber's opinions. That's what it seems like.
And I was about to, because Barbie Pink Barber, I get, hey, that's a tongue twister for me every time I say it. She just said, what do you guys think? Me personally, and I'm going right where you going, Shy. Like, what a person eat don't make me shit, right? So at the end of the day, like, I'm so tired. Like, one of the things we seen in CT was the coming together of so many barbers, especially the Hispanic population, right?
On the surface.
Well, at least, but I'm saying at least with the Hispanic population, right? So
even with them, I still see it on the surface.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I'm pushing. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna bash another barber, and so I know it runs up the views, but to me, and I'm not knocking those guys, but I don't get into that. Like, you know, and I want to. We provided a platform to celebrate the industry and big up, and people are going to, you know, do whatever they do to make a living for their family and you know, their craft and their career. So that's what it's all about. So they take that approach, I guess they take it, but I've definitely been noticing, you know, a lot of bashing, a lot of beef, and I ain't with none of that, man.
And I agree with you, man. I feel like I can't waste too much time. I'm not going to invest a whole lot of time worrying about what somebody else's opinions are, or what somebody else's way of doing stuff is. I mean, it's great. What you do, if it's working for you, I'll be your biggest supporter of that. And if it's not working for you, if I can help you, I will. But I'm not going to be so. I think people get so offended by other people's confidence in their own beliefs.
Right.
You could believe something so much that it offends somebody else's insecurities. I mean, we see that just in your natural way of being as a person.
Right.
You could be a confident person, so confident that you offend other people's insecurities. So I'm not even going to subscribe to that.
Right.
But what I do feel, I feel like is unnecessary, right?
I agree.
And circling back to what I was saying about people being on the same page on the surface, right? It's not uncommon, right? Mm-hmm. Now that I've been in the barbering industry, the short amount of time that I have, but still relatively long enough, right? Long enough with an open enough eye to see past the layers that people putting up there, right? When you meet everybody, you meet their representative first. There's 4 or 5 other layers that exist behind that representative, right? What I saw at that show is, yes, it was a lot of people who stood in unison and they cheered for each other. But if you pay attention to the body language and what they saying, when they saying it, why they saying it, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that we seeing everywhere else. It's even with us. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people. I think they probably do a lot of other barbers do a better job at disguising it, right? And I don't mean this to come off pessimistic or negative. It's just my observation of what I see, right? A lot of people, they put off that persona like, yeah, we brothers, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. But at the end of the day, business is competitive. Whether you want it to be or not, business is competitive.
No doubt.
No matter how much in unison you are with your, competitors that's in your relative area, them still your competitors. We can be cool, but some type of competitiveness is going to exist. Now, where I say it's just smoke, it's on the surface, is they be buddy in person, but then on social media, it's something totally different. Once they come out of that same room together, that whole we cool, we clan, we that shit go out the window. It be something totally different.
Man for themselves, huh?
Yeah, in a way. And I honestly feel like, okay, I watched the interview. You know who Rainwater is? Rainwater was Mo3 manager, right?
Okay.
I watched the interview where Rainwater was talking about this up-and-coming female barber out of Houston, right?
Okay.
And her whole campaign up until this point was positivity, right? She a trap rapper, but she spread a positive message in her content.
Right.
You know what this man told her? He said, what you need to do is you need to do something negative so that all these blog sites catch traction of you to see who gonna be the next rapper to die. And she was like, what you mean? He told her, act like you robbed me of my chain. I'm gonna give you my chain and you post, go live like you took it, right? You ain't gotta show no violence or nothing, just go live, talk and pop in that noise like you took it. That's what it get people entertained, because you might be the next person up to have a tag on you. Unfortunately, when it comes to social media, that mindset is the world that we live to. People pay attention to negativity. That's why I feel like what Marvin is doing is strategic, bro. It's not random.
Right.
It's not random at all. It's because he's aware that people feed into negativity, especially in the barbering industry, bro. How many times you can post something super positive, and it get 4 likes, 10 likes.
No doubt.
Yes. Then you post something negative and it go viral. You post something that might even be mistaken as negative. It's not even intended to be negative, and it'll go viral.
Yep.
People thrive on negativity, man. That's just, unfortunately, that's the temperature of the industry that we're in, man.
Yeah, I was definitely seeing it was almost like Smack battling, right? Smack DVD back in the day.
Yeah.
Battle rap. Right. In the URLs. And
yeah, man.
It's
that's why I just pay attention from afar, bro. I pay attention because I want to be in tune with what's going on around me.
Right.
But if you know, it is what it is. Like AJ Blend said, they don't want to see the real,
Right.
bro. And I think that's why a lot of barbers, bro, if you notice, it's a lot of real solid dudes that get a lot of pushback from the industry. You're not gonna get a whole lot of light if you're not willing to play the game.
Absolutely.
You gotta play the game.
Absolutely. Got a politic and, you know, jump through.
You gotta play the game. But speaking on that, right? So to kind of switch gears, I read something, right? Everybody on here know who Steve Jobs is, right? Steve Jobs. When he passed, man, they wrote up this thing on his last words, and he said some stuff that it makes so much sense that you really don't think about it until you get a little bit more seasoned and you start thinking. So let me pull this up and read it to you, bro.
Okay.
It say, this is what he said before he died, bro. I don't know how soon before he died or how, you know what I mean? These are his words, though. 5 facts that cannot be denied. Fact number 1, don't educate your children about being rich. Educate them about being happy. So when they grow up, they'll know the value of things and not their prices.
Right.
Fact number 2, eat your food as your medicine. Otherwise, you'll have to eat your medicine as your food. Fact 3, the one who loves you will never leave you. Even if they have 100 reasons to give up, he'll always find one reason to hold on. Fact number 4, there's a big difference between being a human and being a human being. Fact number 5, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I want to focus in on that last one because it's relative to this conversation. Right. I think too many people in this industry are thirsty to go far fast. And unfortunately, to go far fast, you have to go alone. So you can, you see a lot of people trying to include others, but it can't be authentic because what you're trying to accomplish can't be accomplished with other people. You understand what I'm saying when I say that? It's hard to get, it's hard for me and you to get on the same page, and it's just 2 of us.
Right, no doubt.
But imagine you trying to get a whole city on the same page. Can you imagine how difficult that'd be? It's difficult, man. And so people don't pace out the journey. They just want to get as far as they can, as fast as they can, and they want to include and keep everybody close to them during that journey, but that's not how that works. To get real far, real fast, you got to be willing to sacrifice everybody around you.
Right, no doubt.
You can get real far with a group, but it won't be fast. It's going to be at a pace that's conducive to everybody in the group.
Right, marathon. Right, no doubt.
Absolutely, it's a marathon.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. So for me, I'm really loving that we have this lane, just being positive. You know what I mean? And like you said, we realize at our age and what we're doing that it's a marathon, and we're enjoying what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? When God shines that light on you, and it's your time, it's your time. But you know, I ain't gonna spend my time throwing nobody under the bus. I'm not gonna spend my time competing, like you said, with you know, we're competitors in this industry, right? And a lot of us come from backgrounds of sports and everything. But you know, to me, it's about friendly competition. You know what I'm saying? And at nobody's neck. It's enough room for everybody to eat. I want to see everybody win, and it starts to get old. It kind of sours you, at least me, on the social media tip to some degree.
It really do, because you feel like, okay, boom, I'm trying to do everything to do right by people, right? But they keep closing doors in my face, right? They keep on pulling. I put my hand out to meet them halfway, and it's not the person I'm trying to reach that's pulling back. It's the person behind the person I'm trying to reach that's pulling them away from me, because they feel some kind of way about what I'm doing. Who's to say? Maybe their insecurities are triggered by our security and what we got, right? Cool. That is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm going to put it to you like this, bro. I'm going to do everything I can to be positive. I'm going to do everything I can to put my best foot forward and be consistent in what we're doing. But if you keep getting in my way, I'm gonna get on your ass.
Right.
Period. Because that's the only way it gotta be. Because
Right.
we working in the industry, bro. Like, this is a part that I think people gotta also understand. We working in the industry where you can be as agreeable as the people around you allow you to be. Right? So I can be agreeable. I can fall back and let somebody undercut my price across the street because they trying to bite in on what I got. You know, I could be agreeable,
Right.
because I can fall back on what I do. I can fall back on the experience. I can fall back on the environment.
Right.
But at what point is it too much, right? At what point is it like, all right, now I got to get on your ass,
Right.
because you're doing too much. Like, you reaching, bro, and I don't like it, bro. It's like, I see a lot of people that, like, okay, I'm gonna speak on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is me getting on my other shit, right? So why is it that when you post stuff, like I post a lot of stuff and I see a whole lot of people view that shit,
Right.
but if I put it in the story, it's a whole lot of people viewing that shit, but they ain't nowhere to be found in the comments. They ain't nowhere to be found in none of that. But then I see somebody else post the exact same thing,
Right.
and they posted it after I posted
Right.
it, and it blow up. So it's like, all right, I could choose to be sour. I could
Right.
choose to be, I could choose to allow my heart to be filled with malice behind that, because I don't care what nobody say. Ain't nobody posting nothing on social media just because they want to post it.
Right.
We all posting on social media to gain traction and attention to those
Absolutely.
posts. Period.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be on social media.
Absolutely.
Right?
No doubt.
What I choose to do though is it's like, I bet. Well, let me figure out where I could be better investing this time, because investing it on social media isn't rendering the results that I want. So can I put that time somewhere else and improve an area where I can see some results from the attention that I give it, the time that I give it?
Right.
So I put it in the shop. I put it in my cuts.
Right.
I put it in the people cutting around me and next to me, across from me. I put that attention into them. I put that time into them. I put that time into my family, my clients, and myself.
Right.
And I'll see the results of that. I'll see those relationships flourish. I'll see my relationship with myself be more clear. And it's like, man, it gets to the point, like you said earlier, social media, how you so frustrated with the bullshit, the smoke and mirrors, that you don't even want to deal with it, to be for real, for real.
Right. It'll definitely have you falling back. I've noticed that you haven't been posting as much. You know what I'm saying? We had a conversation just about, just trying to get that vibrance back in regards to posting. But like you said, a lot of, what attracted me as a barber to the whole social media in terms of posting was the art, right? And enjoying the craft. And it's seeming like the craft is starting to take a back seat to all the other shenanigans. You know what I mean? Because again, it's just all about, like you said, getting that attention, likes, and if one thing is not doing it, then forget it. I'll try this. I'll jump into this lane, and so just trying to, just trying to grasp it up, just stay in my lane, so to say, man. Because I
think with this too, like you're saying, bro, it's at least with the way we're approaching it, right? The way we're approaching it, I think the biggest difference, because I'm 100% in agreement with you, that I was very much interested in the artistry of bar. That's why I follow bar. I don't follow barbers who post a lot of pointless content.
Right.
I follow barbers who creative with their content.
Right.
And I follow barbers. The quickest way to get a follow from me is just be a dope ass barber with the clippers. Like, if you cold with the clippers, I will definitely follow you, because I enjoy seeing the artistic side of barbering. I love to see people push the boundaries of hair. Like, that's incredible to me. It's inspiring. It makes you want to come in and push your envelope a little further to see what can you accomplish with the clippers, right?
No.
But like you just said, that was the initiation point. Like, that's when I initially got into social media. Fortunate as well as unfortunately at this juncture, now we more into content creation side of
Right.
social media. Well,
Right.
I can't even tell you when the last time. Well, I can tell you the last time I posted haircuts, but every haircut I've posted in the last maybe month have just been drafts that was sitting somewhere. I don't even remember when I did the haircut, except for one. One haircut I posted
Right.
was one that I did in the last 2 weeks, and that was the lady with the blonde hair with the little designs in that. It's to the point where me and you focus so much attention on trying to figure out the best way to maneuver content, create it, capture it, store it, edit it,
Right.
filter it,
Right.
go back, because people got to understand, we not just putting it in a ready-made machine and this shit just pressing out. No, you got to go back and go through every video of every live and watch the whole live to find one clip.
Yep.
And then you got to figure out, okay, well, this is the clip. How do I present this clip?
Right.
What's the best way to make it make sense? Is this even something that's going to be relevant or tangible? Then at the end of the day, you do all that, right? You cross all the I's and dot all the T's, and you just spent a day and a half on 2 clips, and it still ain't no guarantee that it's going to be one that people going to be receptive to when you post.
Right. Right.
So it gets overwhelming, man. It gets a little what's the word, man? Defeating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll defeat you, bro. It really will.
Bro, I know we done put some stuff on here with some not just amazing barbers, amazing minds that are inspiring and motivation, right? We done put some jewels out here. Like you said, if we was clapping back or it was some negativity, it would draw so much more. But loving the fact that we're steadfast.
And it's a whole lot that we could say. Let me say that too.
You know,
it's been a whole lot of fugue going on. If you knew, if y'all knew what we know,
yeah,
there's a whole lot of fugue going on, boy. A lot of back road talking, boy. But we, you know what I'm saying? We keep it copacetic on this side.
And AJ Blend says social media is a strategy. You must study it to master it. And I agree. But I think
social media is the strategy. You must study it to master it. I agree to disagree. It ain't no mastering social media.
So well, I think from the standpoint, and I agree with both of y'all, and I think he's kind of saying the standpoint where you're getting the traction and the views. And that's what I love about what we're doing. We're steadfast to what we're doing. And we've created our specific lane. We're going to do what we're going to do. And when the time is right and when God sees fit, you know what I'm saying? Because solid stuff withstands the test of time. You know, like for real, like some of the jewels that's been dropped and experiences and things, it'll never go out of style. You know what I'm saying?
And I will hold me and you accountable too, right? This is me putting belt to our ass. Me and you both, right? It does the test of time no good if we got all this content that's packed full of jewels, but we're not better distributing it so that people can see it.
You're right.
So it's on us to get better with that.
But on that, and I agree with you 1,000,000%. But we both had a very, very good conversation last week where we realized, man, and that's what we taught. That's when it circles back to just the industry. It takes a team to build an empire. You know what I'm saying? We're fathers, we're husbands, we're business owners, we're barbers. You know, we're doing all these things. And at the end of the day, is just going. You know, once we starting to put some things together, man. And in the last week, bro, and Asha's gonna reach out to you. Like, bro, I've been so ecstatic watching my sons, because you always want to put people that you can trust in the mix. Early on, I'm like, Ash, you know, he like, Dad, talking ain't me. That ain't what I do. My other son, my youngest son, one who's in barber school too, same thing. He's not just vibrant and outgoing. Now, when you get with him, like this in CT, Y'all hit it off. We kicked it. We had a good time. But man, they done grabbed this camera, bro. And I don't know what done spark, but I'm like, whoo! It just done made my heart flutter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because they're watching. You know, Ash watches a lot of your content, a lot of what you do, and so in due time, it's all coming together because it has to be authentic. So I agree with you. You know what you're saying, but we getting it in the mix because we got so many irons in the fire that is so hard, and people don't understand. We do this every single week, bro. We consistent as they come with what we do. It's the other parts, and we're gonna start grabbing from those other parts. But you know, it's part of the battle that we're doing. And we've seen podcasts in this same area that they'll jump in. You know what I'm saying? And then jump out because it's hard to sustain. And so
it's hard to see though, because a lot of people won't understand this, but I know you will. Mm-hmm. It's hard to see them other podcasts jump in and jump out because I wholeheartedly be pulling for them. Like I want to see you, if you jump in and you're able to find success, and I can celebrate that success. That's another thing. That's located in the same lane that I'm in that can help inspire us and help teach us what ways to find success in that lane. This is a very specific lane to be in. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people thriving in this lane, right?
Right.
So when other people get in it and they find a success, or when other people get in it, I would say initially, I'm super excited. It's like, I bet here goes somebody else trying to do it. Now, that's not to say I'm human, bro, and I'm gonna be a realist 1,000%. Like buddy, bro said, what's his name? Like Diamond Life Cut said, I'm from the south side of Chicago, bro. I don't know how to be no other way, and I can smell a bullshit a mile away, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, when I see some of these podcasts start, the way that they start, right? And the stuff that go down before they position themselves to start, I know where it's coming from, bro. Like, I know where it's coming from. I know what type of time you on. I know, like, what your energy is. Right. And even then, I'm still going to try to support it.
Right.
But I'm going to support it from a distance. If I'm being honest with you, I'm going to support it from a distance because it's just like when you're a barber, right? If you're a barber and somebody come in the shop and they sit down, they don't cut hair though, right?
Right.
They watch you cut hair, and you ever seen somebody like Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe was so good at what he do that he made basketball look easy.
Right.
Can you imagine how many grown men it was that may have had small basketball backgrounds, or probably no background in basketball at all? They probably was athlete in a whole other sport.
Right.
But because he made it look so easy, people looked at it like, I could probably do that too.
Let me be right.
I could do that. If I had that kind of space, I could do that too, right? People would discredit the thousands of hours of reps that he put in to be able to do that thing in that moment. Right. Just like people come and they see barbering or being a social media personality, because being in front of this camera holding a conversation is not simple. That's not easy to do. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
People will see it and they'll be like, I could probably do that. But then you got those other people that see it and be like, I could probably do that, and I could be better than them at doing it.
Right.
And they'll jump on, they'll do it, and realize that it's not easy, bro. It's difficult. Not only is it not easy to stand in front of a camera or sit in front of a camera and engage people, it's even harder to engage people you don't know.
Absolutely.
You don't have no background with these people, but you got to engage them in a conversation like you've been talking to them all week. This is your first time ever having words with them. Right?
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, people. I don't know, bro. I guess I'm just on one today. What? And it ain't nothing but lemonade in the cup, bro. And you know what I'm saying?
And I agree. And just to piggyback off that, because you talk about the energy. You know, when we first started doing this, you know, we jumped out there. James was like, "Let's go," because you know you really didn't see it, and then you start seeing some things, and you know it's space for everybody. But one thing I have a problem in this industry too is when you inspire or motivate others to do something, they're not going to let you know. and we have such a hard time and pride. Like if the people who inspire us, we bring them on here, we give them their flowers, you know, we talk about it because it's a beautiful thing. But then people will be side-eye. You can see that side-eye, then they jump out there and they ain't gonna say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? You just, it's like, that it's enough room for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you inspire somebody, it feels good to know that you inspire somebody because it you know, people inspire us. But we're just for those.
What do you think that is, though? Why do you think that? Do you think that's a pride thing?
I think yeah, I think it's pride.
Pride thing.
I definitely think it's pride, man.
I think it's a pride and an insecurity thing, right? Yeah. Most people, right? My opinion, again, my opinion. I think in order to be a person who has too much pride, you have to have a lot of insecurities, right? And I say that because pride is a defense mechanism,
right?
In my opinion,
right.
Insecurities thrive and they exist where vulnerability is, right? People who aren't sure of something within themselves, a lot of times, especially in this barbering industry, a lot of times that presents itself as pride, right? Okay, prime example. I know a whole bunch of barbers that ego, like AJ Blinn said, ego is another part of that. I know a whole lot of barbers that, and this isn't being braggadocious at all. I want to say this publicly. This is not being braggadocious. This is not doing anything but acknowledging actual, cold, hard, provable facts. Right. I've witnessed it happen to a good friend of mine, and I've witnessed it happen to myself where I am. Right. It's a lot of barbers in the area that I'm in who able to charge what they charge because I start charging it. Now that some people gonna look back at this and hear that and be like, "Oh, that nigga arrogant. That's he being an asshole." No, I'm not being an asshole. That's the truth. Right. That's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Right. If anything, it was probably one or two other people in this area that may have been charging it, but neither one of those people or anybody else that would have been that was charging that amount, none of them was public on social media. None of them. That I can put my right hand up to God and attest to it. None of them. None of them was putting in the work and the consistent effort to create a lane on social media to publicize what they were doing in a small town. Since you've met me, when I was in barber school, when we first had our conversation, it stemmed from me being visible on social media. Right? And it stemmed from me using social media as a marketing tool to build up clientele. Fast forward years later, there's a lot of people in this town that I'm in, this little bitty town, that's charging the prices that I'm charging now or that I was charging before I went up, because I went up. And if that wasn't happening prior, right? I said, like, it's to the point, I'll put it to you like this. It's to the point that clients have come in here, multiple, and told me, like, bro, I don't know what the hell you got going on, but you're going to have to either start doing some classes or y'all going to have to get together and have a meeting, and everybody that's trying to charge what you charge going to have to start cutting to the same degree. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. People going to cut to their own degree, whatever, right? I can't tell nobody what to charge for that. What you feel is your price is your price. But I say all that to say that when I start charging my price, I charge my price because I observed a barber in Nashville who was going against the grain, that was doing stuff that people weren't doing in barbering, who was charging prices and setting standards that people wasn't doing. Right? And I seen it and it was like, you know what? I wonder if I could do that here in Murfreesboro. I wonder if I could do that here. So I started trying to do the same thing and it started working. But the difference was I reached out to him and hey, how are you doing this, that, and the other? I'm interested and I think it's dope that you're doing that. I would love to be able to do that. Then when it started working, I thanked them. Man, I appreciate you, bro. I've been doing this, this, and this, and it's been working for me, bro. Then when I started discovering new stuff to push it further, I reached back and, hey, have you thought about trying this, this, and this? This what I've been doing. It's been working for me. Have you tried this? It's to the point now where me and that dude like this. But it's like you said, it's because ego and pride and insecurities, none of that stuff stood in the way of reaching and saying, hey, I see something you're doing. I like it. I wonder if I can do it. And thank you for doing it.
Absolutely.
It, man,
Absolutely.
people don't want to say, not even, and you ain't even gotta say inspired. You ain't, bro, shout out to such and such and such.
Right.
It's simple, bro.
Right. You know, and all under the same umbrella. And like you said, you unpack it, it goes back. That happens like we're in a small town, you know, same type of thing, no camaraderie. And I've spoke on that many of times, just the lack of camaraderie, you know, in small towns with barbers, everything is competitive. And it's other barbers here that are eating, you know what I'm saying? Like I just, when I started getting in tune with barbers such as yourself and guys that we bring, you know, have brought on, and you know, we've gained relationships, I start looking afar and putting a little bit of different things in my arsenal and, you know, mixing it up, pot of gumbo, and I raised my standard, you know what I'm saying, as a barber. And it didn't have anything with trying to compete against anybody else. It was just, you know, like you said, watching other barbers doing that thing in other places, because there weren't barbers here that inspired me like that. Because in the, it's more like, okay, we're gonna you know, hustle. And so for a long time I didn't even understand, bro, this is a career. Like I didn't understand the beauty in the craft. And so, you know, understanding that and reaching out, man, and you know, as an industry, man, we definitely got to do better, man.
Do you think that social media plays a big role in why is so much changing in barbering? As do you think that social media can be pointed to as the source of why so much is changing in barbering in regards to, it seems like we're getting further and further away from traditions?
Yeah, I agree, because now we're at a time now where you didn't know about a barber in Murfreesboro if you didn't live there. You didn't know about a barber in Nashville. You didn't know about Atlanta, New York. Now we can go right in people's barbershops to some degree from afar, but we're right there. So we're able to see all these different things. And so everybody is trying to compete on social media. So I definitely think, you know, whether good or bad, you know, depending on who you ask, I think the boundaries are being pushed, you know. And like I said, I think, you know, because of social media, the craft in and of itself is starting to take, you know, a backseat to some degree. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like how you put that. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think the craft is, well, to the masses.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, to the masses. To the masses, the craft is definitely taking the back seat. It's more, look at me, then look what I can do, versus look what I could do. This is me. I did that. Like, yeah. I agree. That's a great observation on that. Because, and it's crazy. What do you think, if anything, do you think that it's even possible to kind of walk that back down and make it where, do you think that barbers are ever going to get back to a position in this industry where we focus more on the craft and the traditions of barbering?
Nope.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's,
Damn.
I think I got too Hollywood.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is has that thirst for that attention. So whatever gets it. So, you know, after you know, seen one haircut, you done seen them all, per se. I'm gonna tell you somebody who I think is good at just staying in that lane, and he's varying inspiring, not just with his craft, because I think he's one of the most amazing barbers in the industry, but also his message, and that's Smash the Legend. If you look at his content, right,
Mhm.
it's all craft oriented. You know what I'm saying? And then he puts the message behind it. If it's a picture of a head, or if it's a picture of him cutting the head, and just the message behind it. But it's not a whole lot of them. It's just trying to chase them and run them views up. And I don't think it'll ever be the same for the masses, because now you have younger barbers looking at it, and that's what they're gauging it upon. Me and Marcus Harvey I told you, gave me a call, and shout out to the Marcus Harvey, aka the Barber Star. He called me that morning, man, and he really, really put a battery in my back. Like, I thought he had butt dialed me, bro, because we've communicated, but it was never through picking up the phone, right? It was always, DMs or texts, and he was like, man, you guys have something wonderful, and I'm just trying to reel it back in. He was like, because this game is going to a place that is recognizable. He was like, with us, he was like, when you look at different communities
You said going to a place where?
that we've never seen before.
Okay, it's not recognizable. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he was like, when you look at certain demographics, in certain cultures, the barbershop and things still exist. He's like, but when you see us, we done got to the point, everybody's so Hollywood, they want their own suites. We're not building communities anymore. He was like, everything, he was like, the ability to have that camaraderie is moving further and further away, because we're separating ourselves. And barbering is not looking the same way that it looked when we were growing up, that attracted us to it. The shop, the learning the gyms, and being that just that country club for us, right? We're not seeing it no more. Everything is Hollywood. One person, I'm gonna get a suite. I'm gonna get a suite, and it's just, it's legal. And I don't.
You know what? You just made me think about something, bro. You just put something in perspective that I was thinking about this probably last week, maybe earlier. But my question to myself is, why was it so difficult for barbers coming out of school? And I would say, when I say new barbers, I don't mean age-wise, right? I mean barbers who just kind of being introduced to the industry, right? Why is it so difficult for them to exist inside of barbershops? And for a while, I was always looking at it from the perspective of, well, what's the environment inside of the shop that they in?
Right.
Because that plays a big role in if you're going to be able to thrive in that environment. If the environment is negative or not conducive to growth, then you're not going to rock with it for long, right?
Right.
But I never looked at it from the perspective that social media is creating this wave, this influx of barbers who want the notoriety off the bat. They don't want to put in no reps for the notoriety. They don't want to put in no work for it. And like you said, traditional sense of barbering, right? Like building a house. People don't want to put down, they don't want to find the land, clear the land, get the ground tested, lay down piping and electric, put down the foundation. They don't want to do all that no more. People want to see the land and buy the house. That's it, right? And you just put something in perspective, man. Unfortunately, I don't see a world where we ever get back to what barbering used to look like in the sense of traditions. I don't see it, because social media is only going to grow.
Absolutely.
It's only going to grow. And then the barbers coming through the social media era will soon be the shop owners, the school owners.
You see, barbers get a ring light and some black gloves and want to charge $75.
That was a cut.
And when Marcus Harvey hit me with that, it just rang a bell, because I talked to AO last week, He chopped it up.
Hey, shout out AO.
Yes,
We miss you, bro.
yes sir.
I miss you,
I,
homie. I swear to God, every time I see your post, I get a little teary eyed right
yeah.
here. I miss you, bro.
I called and checked on him. And, you know, when he was first making his transition, he wanted to do a sweep. And my thought, which I wasn't going to tell him, like, bro, you move into a new location, you know, it'll probably be best to jump in the shop, get your notoriety, and then if you want to transition into the suite. Well, as God had it, the area he moved into, all the suites were taken up and there were a wait. So he jumped in the barbershops. And, you know, he said he's going to give you a call. He got some amazing things in time that just jumped out at him that he would have never had, bro, where if you'd have gotten a suite. He also said, he said, man, he said, me moving brought my hunger back. He said, I was in a space for so long and I was known for cutting hair and being good at it for so long that I kind of lost my love for it. He said, but once I got back in this barbershop, even though I knew I could cut, I turned into the rookie per se, because I'm going in the barbershop where he said, so it may be 5 guys waiting on one guy, and the guy said, man, let my man hit you. And he's like, man, I'll wait for you. He says, so once I put somebody in the chair,
lit a fire.
it lit a fire. He was like, I'm gonna act a donkey in here. So when they see what get out the chair, and so
you would never say no again.
So it just brought that conversation.
Hey, I'm AO, bro. We gotta get
full throttle, man. And so he gave you a shout. He was like, man, I've been watching that boy content. It's like he going crazy. And so those sometimes are the things, because for so long when I was working full time and I come home and cut, it's hard to get better when you can't look to the left and the right, right? So like now I got another young barber. Hey there, Coco. I got another young barber. He's Hispanic, he's Mexican. And you know, he's 19 and he nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Just got out of barber school. But I'm looking to him and my son, and they he said, y'all, the 92 Dream Team. What's good? What's up, Jim? they motivate me, and they don't even know it. And they keep my juices flowing, because for so long I was in them 4 walls, and you can't look to the left or the right. There's nothing that makes you, that rivals you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so
I think that's something that, in my opinion, that's what great barbers do, though.
right.
That's a sign of a great barber. A good barber can stay good in a suite for a long time. A great barber is going to want to be in an environment where the people around him is going to push him to be better.
Absolutely.
I think that's a characteristic of a great barber. Is to be able to look to your left and your right and be like, God damn, that fade blurry. I need to tighten up. Maybe I need to fix these blades or something.
Right.
You look across and you like, damn, the lines looking straight. My line looking like that. To me, that's a sign of a great barber, man. It's being willing to absorb your environment and understand that if you the biggest dog in every room you go in, that don't mean you big. That just means you going into little ass rooms. Yeah, you need to go into bigger rooms. Look, spoke him up, bro. Look, spoke him up. My guy, Ayo, what's the number, bro? He literally was just talking about you, bro.
Talked him right up.
Talked him right up, bro.
It's and so it's been amazing, and I think that's some of what we're missing. You know what I mean? Because you get you get secluded, you get comfortable, and there's certain that teamwork and those things that, you know, being with the team teaches you. And so I'm glad that I got these young folks. Like I'm telling you, what Ash been watching y'all for a while. He always tune in. He watching y'all content. Man, my son came and grabbed the camera, right? So then he got to messing with it. Ash was like, man, hold on, Dad, this camera old. Then he got to playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what's up, boy? He was like, man, Dad, I didn't know this camera do all this. He was like, yeah, it's older, but man, this dude. So I done got tripod, I done ordered. Man, this dude on footstool taking pictures at angles. And man, the last, what's up, Cutbo? Man, the last dude, all he do, walk around with the camera on his neck now. We went to a U of I football game. We get out.
Tapped into his creativity, man.
You man. And what I realized is I was pushing for something so hard that he recognized, Dad, that's not my lane. That's you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's a great characteristic for him,
Yeah,
though. To acknowledge that what you may want me to be strong in isn't necessarily what I desire for myself.
Right.
And I'm willing to be real with me first, but real with you and say, well, look, I hear you, but let me try this because I think I'm better at this. And hey,
like
listen, I felt that from him when
you know,
I met him, bro. Like, he's just
like,
a solid dude.
I can be an asset to this team, just not in the way you see it for me.
Absolutely.
And that's helped me grow. Like,
that's a valuable person to have on the team. Bro. Yeah,
absolutely. He took photography in high school, right? He took photography in high school. So when he put that camera back in his hand, boy, he done caught fire.
Yeah, it sparked it. Hey, tell him while he learning stuff, make sure you hit me up so you can teach me some stuff, because I'm never, ever, ever settling to be in a position where I'll stop learning. I'm still learning. And
I told him, I said, call him, you know what I'm saying? And I said, call him and y'all bounce ideas, because you know what I'm saying? That ain't my lane. But once him and my other son looked at him, like, okay, now we get ready to start with Greece, because they done found it. You know what I'm saying? And they love it. I'm learning, even as a father. You know, me and the wife had talks, step back, because, and you've said it a lot of times, man, you can't pressure anybody. They gotta find it. You know what I mean? And so it's it's a good feeling. We own something, and I love the team, that, you know, and just being inspired, because he's been so comfortable around here. Like, picking up the camera and stuff is not something because nobody does it here. Mm-hmm. Like, then when he starts seeing, you know, I'm the old head, he's my son, so I'm the dinosaur. But even though you're older than him, you know, AO guys, like, he's seeing things and he's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm starting to realize that CT Expo, even though it didn't give him the battery in his back the same time it gave me one, but why your ass run around with that camera all weekend? It done something for him.
Looking stupid, sitting at the dinner table with a damn camera bag and some more shit, bro.
But it did. It really did, man. And I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, and so yeah, it's and that's what's
making me want to go to that show now, bro. We gonna talk all. Okay. But I want to go back to something that Kenny Jake said, man, because he brought up something that I've been seeing on social media a lot too. He said barbers go out and get a ring light, some black gloves, and start charging $75. Kenny has a dark sense of humor, but there's a lot of proof in that what he's saying. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, yo, I ain't doing nothing, bro. I'm still learning. It's a lot of truth in what he's saying, though, because I think that's another one of those things that's been changed about barbering now, right? Barbers coming through social media.
Right.
Barbers are coming through social media, being trained on how to cut hair through social media. They're being trained on how to create content through social media. They also being trained on how to price their work through social media. So they're pricing their work based on their understanding of the value of a haircut. Right. But this is the part of traditional barbering that I personally am glad has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because traditionally, barbering only increased $5 to $3 a year.
Right.
And that's on a good like 5-year run before you see that increase, because you got to think the cost of a haircut in the 70s and the cost of the haircut early 2000s wasn't too much different. Like we're talking about maybe $10-15 difference, right? Whereas we probably have seen more of an increase in the cost of a haircut in the last 10 years than we did in 40 years prior. And we owe that to barbers coming through social media.
Right.
Because they understanding that we can no longer price a haircut based on what I have to do, the time that it takes me to do it, and just the environment that I'm doing it in. Now we're starting to include things like the cost of living, right? We're starting to include things like the increasing cost of tools that we have to get in order to service the head.
Right.
And like my young bull said, Jay Blends, he just said it to me, I want to say 2-3 days ago, maybe Saturday he said it to me. He said, man, the most offensive thing somebody can do is come into the shop and price something that they think is going to take a little time to do.
Right.
Because they're not considering the 20,000 hours it took me to get it to take a little time to do it. They're not considering that the times that it took me 3 hours to do it. Then I cut that down to 2 hours, and I cut that down to 1.5 hours, and so on and so forth. They ain't considering none of that. They just consider that, man, I seen you do a lining in 5 minutes, bro. It shouldn't cost me no more than $5. A damn lie. It cost me 3 years to get it down to 5 minutes. It's going to cost you something.
And it goes back to what you were saying about Kobe earlier. People seen him, and he made it look so easy that you got guys who just wanted to jump in the game. And it's the same thing, you know, with cutting. You're not looking at my experience and the time that it took me to learn this. You just looking like it all goes back. We all dealt with it. Man, I just want a line and a taper.
You want a haircut. You want a haircut. I want to touch it. You how much you charge for touch ups?
You know what I'm saying?
Touch up is a haircut, bro.
Absolutely.
You want a haircut.
You know, and making it look easy, and like you said, so the pricing goes up and down. Like I seen somebody put something in, you know, man, prices went up to $200. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoo, boy, man.
Oh yeah, I understood that. I'm just fucking with you, bro. I'm just breaking your balls because you got a dark sense of humor, bro. You can't lie on social media and say you ain't got a dark sense of humor. If anybody don't believe me, when you get off this live, go to his page and just scroll down. You got a dark sense of humor, bro.
Right.
So we know as barbers that you mean it from the comment, but you taking a little jab too, Nick. Don't try to act like you ain't, because we know what you do.
Hey,
but
you see, Heck said he don't do no shape ups, only haircuts.
Facts.
And I've got that point. I'm doing linings, and I'm like, man, I give it another year, man. It's haircut or nothing, because what I start seeing is it start putting those little gaps, you know, crazy gaps in your schedule, and you know what I mean.
I do not book that as an appointment. If you want a line and you come in as a walk-in and you wait, if I can get to you to give you a lining, cool. If I can't, hey, that's what come with it. You more than welcome to book a haircut, though.
Right.
You can book a full haircut, and you can get a haircut and a line. It come with both of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you, gang. But I want to ask this too, because this is something that I seen earlier. I think it was on Tank Be Chopping. Tank posted this, and then Reggie commented under it. DJ commented under it. But the post was, someone asked Tank, how much does he believe the industry standard price should be for a haircut? What do you think the industry standard price should be for a haircut? That's not just your area. That's not just your state. The industry. I'm interested. Y'all sound off in the comments too.
Yeah, please sound off in
the comments. What do you believe the industry standard price of a haircut should be?
I honestly, that's a good one. I want to see what other people say, because I think there's so many variables, right? You could be in a shop and see such a difference sometimes, right? And that's my goal. I'm like, look, I got the young boy who just started. People, you know, because he's Mexican. Well, can he, you know, cut ethnic hair? Like, he's ethnic. Like, he's Mexican. What the hell are you talking about? Like,
you know, most people got them hood ass educations. They don't know that.
but it's,
they don't know he's a what do you call him, bro? He's, damn, bro. Look at my hood ass education showing up right when I start talking.
But it's like, look, the goal is not to put anything. We ain't putting anything in here at this point that can't go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you see some barbershops, and it's such a difference where, you know, you look at the standard, but it's like, so many variables. Somebody please.
So this is my take on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
My take on that. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of different variables that determine price for a haircut. We ain't even got to name them all. There's a lot, right? But when you're talking about an industry standard, I look at it in relation to like milk.
Okay.
A whole lot of milk in the world, right? There's a whole lot of milk in the world. Even milk that's not milk, it's dairy free. It's lactate or lactose intolerant milk. I guess they call it lactate is the name of the milk, right? Almond milk that ain't even milk, is just water and smashed ass almonds, right?
I drink it, and it's more expensive than the regular milk. Yeah.
So you got all these different variables of milk, but we putting them all under the same category as milk, right? No matter what it is, what it does, what's the benefits, how it's made, it's milk.
Milk, right? It's
when
milk.
the cost of milk or the cost of dairy goes up, every milk, everything that's in that category of milk is affected.
Okay.
When the cost of milk goes down, everything in that category is affected. So the standard price of milk doesn't give a damn what the different variations of it is. It's just, if you're getting something that goes through a higher process, it's going to cost a little bit more.
No doubt.
If you're getting something that's more niche, it's going to cost a little bit more. If you're getting something that's generalized, it's going to cost a little less, because there's so many different. A cow is a cow is a cow is a cow. A processing plant that processes cows is cows, right? You're going to get your milk. It's either going to be 2%, 1% whole milk, half skim. All that milk is one category, right? It's like an A1, AB, AC, right? AC is like you said, the almond milk, the cashew milk, and all that, the organic milk. Right. It's going to cost you a little bit more because it's premium milk, but it's still milk, right?
Nevertheless,
so I look at haircuts the same way. You have your barbers who could do a fade and it look like it's Photoshop, right? They could do a lining and it look like it's Photoshop, like it look tattooed. It's so clean and perfect that it's unbelievable. Well, that's cashew milk. That's almond milk.
True story.
But then you got
making a good point.
You got that other 80% of the industry that's 1%, 2% whole milk, skim milk. The haircuts can be interchangeable. There's gonna be good ones, there's gonna be bad ones, there's gonna be okay ones, but they sit in that middle majority.
Right.
That's where you start your price. That's where your baseline price needs to be, in that middle majority.
That's a good point.
So in my opinion, the baseline price, considering that analogy, along with the cost of living increasing the way it does, right? Because the cost of living should always affect the cost of a haircut.
No doubt.
Because barbering is a job. The wages that you're paid at a job should be able to sustain your wage of living. If it doesn't, then it's no longer a sustainable job, right? So with all that being considered, as the world is right now, in my opinion, the standard should be between $35 to $45. Should be the standard. Nobody should be charging less than $35.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Now, with that standard, I feel like there is room for, because unlike milk, right? Barbers, stylists, estheticians, everybody within the beauty industry, we can take classes and we can evolve from skim milk to cashew milk.
So
we can evolve.
I got a question for you.
Let's go. What's the question?
So with that being said, so where where does unlicensed barbers fall into this particular category?
That's a great question, sir. Let me tell you why that's a good question. Let me tell you why that's a good question, right? So the unlicensed barber, unfortunately and fortunately, right, they're going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much that the industry can do to regulate them out of the industry, because it's just like criminals, right?
Right.
When the government puts stricter regulations on gun control, that's not affecting anybody but the people who follow the regulations of gun control. You think a criminal give a damn that you putting regulations on gun control? He gonna carry a gun regardless.
Right.
He's committing crime, sir. He don't care about your gun control laws. The only person being negatively impacted by you putting regulations on it is the person who's following the regulations that you're putting out there. Right. So the only person being negatively impacted by the regulations that the barber and the state boards are putting on barbering are the people who had a license, not the unlicensed barber, because at the end of the day, you can't dictate what he does because he don't follow your regulations, sir.
Absolutely.
Those don't apply to him. It's like the dude from the Bishop Sycamore documentary.
Yeah.
I'm not part of OUSS.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. Right. I'm existing in the illegal lane, bro. Like, right? So I can't, when I say that standard of price is for licensed barbers. What somebody's charging unlicensed is, that'll be like me trying to regulate the prices of the weed man. Right. There's no way to do it. Right. It's going to exist, right? Even right now, that's another good analogy. Right. You can go get weed from a dispensary. You can go and get pills from a medical counter. Right. But people selling those things illegally is always going to exist. It's always going to be somebody out here to, wherever there's money to be made, there's always going to be somebody willing to undercut the regulatory price to create their own value. It's always going to exist. No doubt. But I'll say this, right? Even if the basement garage barber, unlicensed barber exists, there's enough money in the industry where everybody can still thrive. No doubt. No doubt. Two, maybe, now this is a long shot right here. This is a reach right here. Yeah. Maybe if barbers within the industry who are following the regulations stop ridiculing and attacking barbers who don't have their license and be more willing to assist them with getting their license or create opportunities where they can get their license, or we can create a narrative or a reality where having your license is attractive. People who don't have their license or want to be licensed barbers. Because as of right now, let's be real, it's a whole lot of licensed barbers who they're not doing anything different than unlicensed barbers not doing. It's a lot of barbers with that piece of paper on their station that they filthy. Right? It's a lot of them who can't cut hair. Right. It's a lot of them who can't talk to people. It's a lot of them who can't exist in positive environments. It's a lot of them who don't cut at the, it's a lot of barbers who got licensed that barely cut at the shop. True story. Right? True story. So as long as we treating the license like it's not a prize, it's not a thing of value, right, why the hell would somebody who don't have it that's doing what you're doing see any value in it that you don't see? No doubt. Ain't no incentive to go and get it. Right. So I can't speak on them. They I can't even knock them. They doing what they doing to feed their families. Right. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like a barber who out here that's slaughtering haircuts. If you slaw and you unlicensed, move to my town immediately, because I want you to mess up as many haircuts as you humanly can. And it's not on no shade shit. Like, you gonna get better eventually, but in the process of you getting better, you gonna feed the barbershops. Because everybody that went to you to get them $5, $10, $15 haircuts, and they get a $5, $10, $15 haircut, they immediately start to see the value in that $35 to $45 haircut. And
like you said, the cost of the tools, man, it's so many, man. There's so many tools out here now, man. I done had to fall back.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you can't keep up no more.
Hell no.
It's like Jordans now.
Man.
Remember Jordans used to release like once every couple months, maybe 2-3 months, maybe once a year, really.
I mean, they dropping, these Clippers dropping. As much as, you know, I love Clippers, I'm like, man, you mess around, be broke.
But that's also a good thing too, though.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good thing that it's so many companies that exist and they in such fierce competition, because what we're seeing Clipper companies and fierce competitions that everybody's in a race to be the best Clipper, the Clipper that everybody reaching for. Like right now, I think what's that Clipper? Stylecraft Instincts.
Right.
I think they got the game in a chokehold right now. Everybody want that Clipper. It's to the point like I followed up with what Filthy Blends was saying, and I've been looking on sites since we had that the interview with him.
Right.
Bro, them shit selling out faster than I've ever seen a Clipper sell out, bro.
Bro, they selling like crack, like matches.
Selling out at $240 something, I want to say $230 something.
Woo! Really?
$239 something like that, bro. I'm talking about soon as we got new Clippers, boom, them bitches.
I guess that ain't far fetched, because I remember when them Andes Master, them cordless dropped. I paid $225 for them. So everything's going up.
You know what's crazy? You remember when the Masters dropped and they was $225? You remember how up in arms everybody was about how much they were charging for that Clipper?
Yeah.
Now what's the standard almost?
Man, for real. For real. And the interesting part is, with so many Clipper companies, right? Mm-hmm. You almost would have thought that maybe some of the Clipper companies' strategy would be, okay, if I'm coming out with a new Clipper, you know what I'm saying, to bring some attraction, let me put it at a mid price. But all the Clippers selling for almost all the Clippers selling arm and leg.
They can, though, bro. Like AO said, they the truth. If AO said they the truth, I stand on your word, bro. If you say they the truth, I know they the truth. I know they the truth. He the only official Clipper reviewer that I trust, bro. Because I know AO ain't gonna send me off, bro. But I don't think they can sell them at a lower price with what they're selling, right? Because I also believe, right, this isn't, I can't verify this, right? But in a roundabout way, Filthy kind of confirmed what my suspicions were. It's a lot of companies, I'll say companies, that have Clippers that they're buying in bulk from China, and they just white labeling them. They just putting their labels, putting their names on them, putting their brand on them, putting the package on them with, you know, they packaging them up real nice, and they selling them as premium Clippers, but they're not. They're not premium Clippers. Right. In a lot of cases, they may feel premium, but when you start cutting with them, them blades are not premium. Right. Guards are not premium. Just countless problems with them, okay? So, considering that, big companies, especially like a Stylecraft or like an Andes or like a, what's the other one? Wall. Right. Companies like that, I don't think they can afford to lower the price of a premium, actual premium Clipper, right, because they're not buying them in bulk and just getting subpar Clippers. They actually getting premium parts. I'll say it like this: with them getting premium parts, they may be buying the housing in bulk. They may be buying the battery in bulk, but the blades that they're getting in bulk from somebody who specializes in making those blades, right? They can't undercharge for what they're getting because the cost of living is going up so much that I'm sure what they're paying for each component of that Clipper to come together to make one unit has increased. So in a lot of ways, they may still only be making what they were making when they was charging it $80 less back then. It just looks like a more that we're absorbing on the front end because the cost of the Clipper has gone up, but we're not considering. We don't never consider when we buy a Clipper how much it costs the company to make that Clipper. Right? We just assume, well, it took them $20 in China to make it, and they selling it for $2.
But
It may have cost them $110 to make it.
But I remember talking with I'm the Barber Plug, and that was that week that you couldn't be on. You had to attend something. Me and Cutflow Dre was talking to him, and he was talking about how much he was like, basically you guys don't know, but he was like, man, that price difference. He was like, man, off a pair of clippers, man, you make a boatload of money based on the production price and what they're going for. He was like that middle. He was like, man, make a good penny on the clippers that I sell. And so it just makes me wonder, because you're coming out with clippers that aren't premium and don't have that machine backing them, but they're still going, putting that premium price on them. And I just thought, because so many that maybe in regards to trying to compete a little bit more, that the price would be set.
So I got a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we get into a good conversation. My question is this: what makes a premium clipper premium?
To be honest, I think the name and the machine behind it. Unfortunately, like you want the premium parts, but like at this point, whatever Andy's Wall, Stackcraft, those clippers come out with, saying whether they use the best parts or not, they're gonna sell. They sell for, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion?
Oh man, for me personally, bro,
mm-hmm.
I'm different, bro. I'm different, right? I think what makes a premium clipper premium is when I get that clipper and I take it out the box, how much modifying do I have to do for that clipper to achieve what it is that I bought it to achieve? If I bought a clipper to be a good blending, when I'm looking for clippers, I'm looking for something that can do as much of it all as I can, because this rarely do we have clippers that do everything, right? Rarely, right? But I want a clipper that can do as much as possible, as efficient as it can, right? So if I can get a clipper that can go through bulk, but it's 80%, right? Going through bulk. It's gonna go through most, but it's gonna have that other 20% of heads and textures that it's gonna struggle with. I would consider that a premium bulk clipper, right? That it got one check. Right. The next thing I'm looking for is when I start my blend, when I go to bald it out, how bald can that clipper get without damaging my client's skin, without snagging? Right. The steel blade so thin that it catching pores. You know what I mean? Right. If it don't do none of that, and it
straight out the box.
Straight out the box. Okay. If it could do, because me personally, I can get the ball line out with my trimmers, right? So I ain't worried about that. But I want to see how close my clipper can get it, because I've had clippers out the box that get so close that you do even less work with your trimmers, right? So if it's able to get my ball line in real good, it's not catching pores, it's not snagging hair, right? That's another check. Right. My next check after that is when I put in my first guideline all the way open with no guard. How many times do I got to hit a spot before that clipper cut all the hair out that spot? I don't like clippers where the blade and the cutting blade don't work in unison, where I'm trying to put in my first guideline and it's spotty. I got to go back through it. I got to go all the way around the head, then I got to go around it again, and I might have to touch some more spots. Right. That's adding time to that cut for me.
So dig this, and I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I think the standard has been set now because there's so many clipper companies, right? Mm-hmm. When you originally asked that question, I'm thinking, because I remember at a time when you would buy Andes, whether it be the Styleliner 2, the T outliner, whatever it was, because when they were made, they weren't made necessarily for our intention of what we do. The sharp lines and the symmetry, it wasn't about all that then, right? So, but it was still a premium clipper because they were wanting them in Wall have been out there, or it's been out there for so long that it's been considered, one of the premium companies. So once things started changing and Babyliss jumped into the fold and they're doing their thing, now you had more barber input, and Stylecraft comes behind that. You have all that. So now they have the machine, and they have the resources to make those changes, to make those things premium, like you said, when it came out with the fat blade and all this. But at one point in time, it was just, okay, you go get those style liners. If you want that sharp line, you're gonna have to go everything
Yeah.
out the gate. So I agree with you, because now it's they look at the the demographics that are using the clipper and saying, okay, other clipper companies are doing this, so that makes good sense. So you're able to look at it from that aspect now.
It's so many different now versus, I would say, like, let's call it mid to late 90s. Mid to late 90s, you really only had 3, maybe 4 powerhouses of clippers. Right. Andis, Wall, Oster, and what's that clipper, bro? Oh my God, bro.
76er?
That's Oster.
Right.
Well, yeah, it was only 3. Shit, Andis, Wall, and Oster. That was really it, right? Yep. Well, I'm finna show my age. Don't judge me. And I think it belongs to a company now. You'll understand. Them Con Airs.
Them Con.
That's number 4.
But I ain't going with the Con.
Them Con Airs, because there was a whole bunch of. We already brought up the garage barber. That's what they was using in the kitchen. They was using them Con Airs with them colorful guards, or the guards that was tapered on one end. Yes, sir. They was using them. And for all y'all that don't know, Con Air is nothing but Babyliss rebranded, but we ain't even gonna get into all that, right? So you think mid 90s to late 90s, you just really had those three powerhouses, right? Whereas fast forward to today, it's on God. Oh God. With the Luster product on the side. Listen, bro, this is back when they was using the spritz, bro. Out the what's the name of that spritz, Sarah? Pump It Up. They was using Pump It Up. Right? Man. But you fast forward to today, and I don't have enough fingers for how many clipper brands it is, right?
Yep.
It's been a boom in the amount of variety of what you have. So because there's so much variety, back then you would get a clipper and it was, okay, what does it do in regards to how cool does it look, how much does it cost,
right,
and how hot does it get? I think that was the biggest thing. How sharp can I get my liners, and how cool can I keep my trimmers and my clippers? Because everything being on that rotary motor plugged into the wall get hot.
Yeah.
This was before they was coming with the ceramic blades. This was back when dudes was spraying their clippers with not Cool Cat. They was spraying them bitches with oil sheen, right, to cool them off.
Okay.
Right. So he said, "You tell him to." I'm trying not to, bro. So we got so many clippers, and the variety is so vast now that when I buy a clipper, now I'm in the mindset of, I don't care what look the coolest. Right. I care in a degree that, I don't want no big ass, weird looking ass clipper, but I do care more about the performance out the box, because technology is advancing so fast with clippers that they've come up with in the last, I would say, 8 or 9 years. They've invented, listen to what I'm saying, not tweaked. They've invented 3 different new motors that's going into clippers. 3. Before, it was only 2 options. You had rotary, or what was the other one? Magnetic. That was it. Yeah. Now you got rotary, magnetic, brush, cycling, vertical pin. It's all kind of motors that go into clippers now.
Boy,
So
you sound like
huh?
You sound like a mechanic.
Well, that's because I break my clippers. I literally just put a new blade on the pair of clippers to make them better before I got on this live. I swear to, I'm that guy where I want that clipper to perform. I want to cut down the amount of times I got to turn around and change.
Right.
If I could cut down the amount of times I got to turn around and if I can get 70% of my haircut done with one tool,
efficient.
To me, that's a premium clipper. That's valuable.
But it's so crazy for me because I'm such a clipper here that it turned into my goal to be able to use 5 to 7 clippers in a haircut just for the fun.
Oh, yeah.
For the fun.
And I ain't knocking that. I swear to God, I'm not. See, golf took that away from me. I ain't got that option no more.
Right.
Golf is so damn expensive. I got to save my twos and fews while I can't. You understand what I'm saying? I like being out on that course, so I can't just go out and throw $230 at a pair of clippers just to see if they're going to be where I want to be.
Right. I said just to play with them.
Yeah, just to play.
Yeah.
Another thing people tell you, any barber that know me, that's been around me, know if I get bored with a clipper, I will unplug that hoe and put them right in that drawer until somebody asks about them. And depending on how I'm feeling, you ask on the right day, I will give them motherfuckers to you because I ain't gonna do nothing with them. They just sitting in my drawer. Right. If I need a little money, I need a little change, a little scratch, you know, it's because I need a little scratch. But I'm not. Once I unplug a clipper, bro, it's rare for me to pull it back out. Really? Yeah, because I'm looking for very specific things. Like the majority of the haircuts I do is blended haircuts, man. I'm not getting a lot of people that just want the 3-2-1. I'm not getting a lot of people that just want the even all over. I'm not getting a lot of people that want highly technical fades. Right. Either fades that's real precise in small areas or all the way around the head. They want them shaped a certain way. I do a lot of fading in my design work, so I need a clipper that's going to be efficient for all that. I don't have time to keep on cutting it off, sitting it down because it's the battery dying or it's getting juice. What are you using right now? What's your go? Right now, my go-to is my Stylecraft Rebel with and this is what I love about that clipper, right? That Stylecraft Rebel, out the box, it came with more options to modify that clipper and make it what you wanted. It's like you purchased 4 clippers in one. Because the way I got it set up, I got it set up with the floating adjustable arm and come with the little clicking arm. Right. But as we all know, you can get to a spot where you want to kind of, you know, I do a lot of feathering in my fade. He says like recruiting a 5-star athlete. I swear to God it is. Bro, where you been at, bro? We need you, bro. Where you been at, bro? He ain't never lying, bro. You got to really pay attention to what's going on. Like, yeah, that joint can flay real good, but the bolt cutting is terrible on that bitch. Like, it can't cut through nothing. Or it can cut bolt real good, but it can't fade good. Now I just spent $200 on a bolt clipper. Like, hell no, that's irrelevant. But with that Rebel, I got it set up out the box. It came with these options. I took that little clicking adjust off. Now it's a floating adjuster. Then it has the extended adjuster where it opens up as wide as a master. Wow. And I took a ceramic blade off of one of my wall singers. It fit right on the Stylecraft. So now I got a ceramic blade with the a ceramic cutting blade with the carbon composite steel blade that opens up like a master on a clipper as light as a magic clip. That's a badass clipper, bro. Right. I cut straight hair with it, curly hair with it, nappy hair with it, clean hair with it, dirty hair with it, and it cut through both. Right. And it got a fade blade on it, so it's real good for shaping afros. It's a good clipper. Right, no doubt. I just took my I got a Babyless clipper up here too, the little Babyless Snap FX that got the little interchangeable batteries. Way by a same blade. Ergo is a way better by the same blade. Well, unfortunately for me, I won't know until you send me a pair. If you send me a pair, then I'll try them out. But the ones that I'm using, I had no problem with
Look at this fool. Talk
it.
about
Deserve to be on this team in real life, bro.
right.
Listen, right now I got Kobe on there on my station,
Right.
bro. And you gonna have to show me the Jordan before I move
Right.
Kobe, bro.
Right.
Kobe been putting in work. I'm talking about when you got a clipper that does what you want it to do and you're confident with it, it will blow your mind how more efficient you are
Right.
with cutting hair.
Right.
When people come in here, if you get behind, you have the confidence of knowing I can speed up and I'm not gonna compromise the quality of that haircut.
Right.
Because I'm using the tool that I know.
Why are you an asset to this team?
Absolutely. Why do you deserve to stay on this station? I got a whole bunch of people on the bench underneath the station in that front drawer.
Right.
Why do you deserve to stay on this station? Like the Babylist, bro. When they originally came out with the Babylist XX, the police baton ass clippers, the
Right.
beach
The
flashlight
right.
joints. Right? The biggest problem that I was having with them, that I said a whole lot of other people having with them, that clipper was amazing with a taper blade on it. Amazing with a taper blade on it. The problem was the battery life was terrible. It was horrible. You would get through a head and a half and it'll be blinking.
Right.
So it's not a good all-day clipper. You got to have something on reserve.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they fixed that problem when they came out with the Snap FX, because now you got the same clipper,
Right.
but I can take the battery out and put a new battery in, and now I can run all day.
Right.
That's the only clipper on that station that you literally never have to plug up, because it's always a reserve
Right.
battery charging for it. And it take a second, battery out, battery in, and you gone, right?
Right.
Here's where they messed up. They improved the thing that we was complaining about, and they changed the thing that we wasn't complaining about. They changed the blade. For whatever reason, they put a steel blade on it with a fade blade on it.
Really?
Bro, completely changed the whole clip. And the blade that they put on that, the blade that came with that clipper is garbage, bro. I'll say it publicly. That motherfucker horrible. It's garbage. I took that blade off, had to spend $42 to get the old Babylist taper blade with the carbon cutting blade. Put it on there. When I tell you I'm so damn excited to use them clippers, I'm probably finna go out here and try to get one of these homeless people to come in here tonight so I can try them out. Because in my hopes, it's gonna be what it was when I got it that first time, just now with the absence of the battery problem.
Okay.
If that's the case, that joker there gonna be in the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? Them style crafts is gonna be my number 2.
Okay.
If it worked like my old Babylist did. My old Babylist, the battery was such a problem that I gave them away.
Wow.
I spent $198 on them clippers. The red, it was the Hulk version of them, the red one, red and gold.
Yeah.
I loved them, but the battery was so frustrating having to plug them up and sit them down. Right. I loved them so much that I never wanted to sit them down. And because they would force me to sit them down, I just gave them away.
You set them down permanently. You put them on.
Let somebody else enjoy them.
You put them on waivers.
Yeah, bro. They got their slip. They had a 10-day contract and they did not fulfill the need of the team.
Yeah.
They didn't fulfill.
Yeah. Man, we it's coming to that time, man. We could go all day. This is, and you know the beauty of tonight, we're showing that we can hold a conversation, drop jewels, and we don't have to have a guest. You know, and that's the beauty of it. We enjoy guests, we enjoy them telling their story, but when we don't have one, we still got jewels to drop. We still got conversations to be had.
Oh, most definitely, man. That's the thing about it, bro. Is what we trying to do here. It's not find fame overnight.
Absolutely.
What we trying to do is create a platform that could be valuable to more than just us.
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like we do. I feel like that's the goal.
No doubt.
To create a platform that some nights you're going to have people on that you know. Some nights you're going to have people on that you admire.
Right.
Some nights you're going to have people on that you don't know.
Right.
And that's going to be those nights where it's just going to be you involved or listening to a conversation where we talking, we catching up to what's going on in the industry. What things are we seeing? What things have we experienced? Because whether you want to believe it or not, your experiences can help me in my life with my experiences. My experience can help you. Our experiences can help other people, and theirs can help us. The whole thing is, bro, is it gotta be presented that way.
Absolutely.
And if we continue to present it that way, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, man. This platform it'll be something valuable for the industry. Hopefully, with an industry that's changing as much as it is,
right.
we can create something that is beneficial for the industry.
Right, right. And right now, I feel like as we continue to climb the mountain, the industry as a whole really don't even understand what they're missing or what they're in tune for. And so we're gonna keep ramping it up. We're gonna get to these shows. We're gonna, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, man. So I'm excited, man. We appreciate your consistency as always. I've enjoyed this tonight. Of course, numbers ain't been as high as some, when we had, some guests on, but the content has been just as great. Something to build off. We're gonna stay consistent. We're gonna continue to do what it is we do. We thank everybody for supporting us who have come on, even if they're not on now. Anybody listening, subscribe to the I Cut My Way Out YouTube channel. We're pushing that. You can see all of our interviews in its entirety. Also follow us on the I Cut My Way Out _pod page, man. And we just gonna keep doing this, man. We do this for the culture at Barbering. We love what we do. We take out this time every week, every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are consistent as they come.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, man. I gotta send a special shout out real quick, man, before we go. I got to.
Mm-hmm. I got
a special shout out to Tailor Made Slaves, bro.
Okay.
Listen, bro. I've been knowing her for a few years now. We was in the shop. We had a whole situation. One day I'll tell y'all the whole story with that. But I want to shout her out because she don't even know how much she inspired me just right now. Right? Just right now. Do you remember these days? Hold on, let me flip this camera around. Do you remember these days, bro?
Getting it in. Uh-oh. I gotta get him back on, y'all. We ain't done. We almost done. He done hit something. You're back.
All right, hold on, my fault. I don't know, I must have swiped. All right, there it is. Oh, yeah, I got you now.
She over there.
You remember them days, bro? Bro, it is 9:15 at night, bro.
Right.
He's still in here working, bro.
Getting it cracking.
Shout out to her client, by the way, because she's still in here getting her hair done. She came out in the middle of the night. Hey, bang, bang. Shout out. But I had to give her a shout out, bro, because
and lastly, I want to give a shout out to Coldest Clippers, man. We got something brewing, man, something special, man. Appreciate that brother, man. He's solid, man. He's always receptive. So I want to give him a shout out.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Want to add before we get out of here?
No, man, listen. This has been the I Cut My Way Out podcast. If you sitting on a rock, sitting under a rock, or you watching something else on another live, you bullshitting. You should have been here. But if you here now, go up to the top, click that, go to the page, and I already know you follow. I already know you tuned in to the bell notification, the post notification. So do me a favor, right? Do me a solid. Send it to 3 other people who not in tune. Get them in tune so we can get this thing growing. The more we get this thing growing, the more we can mesh and we can gel and we can get it popping and moving how y'all need it to move. So if you have any ideas, I understand that we are always open to receive information. If you have any critiques, let us know. This is as much your show as it is our show.
Absolutely.
If you see an area of improvement, let us know.
Absolutely.
If you see somewhere where we could be doing something differently that'll make your experience better, let us know. Yeah. Or if you just want to come on the show and be a part of it, you want to have a conversation, you want to engage it, you want to get out the comments and onto the screen, hit the I Cut My Way Out DM, and we'll set something up. We can get you scheduled to get you on. Other than that, I'm gone. I'm done.
Absolutely. Lastly, the I Cut My Way Out podcast merch is available. We're doing a dry run. We're going to get the website up, but so now you can contact me at Ash the Barber, or you can contact Shy.
Don't contact me. No, don't contact me. Because if you DM me, I'm going to ignore you because I'll be busy, bro.
Okay.
If you want the merch, go to the I Cut My Way Out podcast page and go through that DM. That way it can be filtered straight through there.
And I'll find out. You said that. What you said? Don't hit my page.
Don't hit me up, bro.
Hey, you can hit my page. Hit the I Cut My Way Out _. We'll take care of you. We'll get that out there. We're gonna continue to post stuff there, man. Had a wonderful night, man. I appreciate you, my brother.
Definitely.
Appreciate everybody. Y'all have a beautiful night.
Peace.
Yes, sir.